Good afternoon, Ma. In previous class, we have completed that ionic bond. Okay. First, little bit I will recall about ionic bond. What are the topics we have studied? Initially, we have seen how ionic bond is formed. After that, ionic bond is formed between metals and non-metals. What are the other names of ionic bond? Electrovalent bond, or ionic bond means electrovalent bond. Other name is electrovalent bond only. And we have seen examples in what way ionic bonds will be present. Next, properties of ionic bonds. After that, favorable conditions for the formation of ionic bond. Under that, we have seen two side headings: favorable conditions for the formation of cation and favorable conditions for the formation of anion. Is it okay? After that, structure of NaCl, structure of CSCl. Okay, that structure of NaCl, structure of CSCl. At the time, I have no cube. I had no cube. You can imagine this cube. See, all of you, you can imagine this cube. This is corner. This is corner. Like this, how many corners will be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 corners are there. This is face. This is face. Center. This white color cube is there, na? That is center. Face center. One face. 1 front. 2, 3 rear, back. 4 above, below. 6 faces we have. Corners, 8 corners. 6 faces. Okay, next. This is called edge. This line is there, na? That is called edge, which is joining corners. The line which is joining corners is called edge. In that center is called edge center. This blue color is there, na? Edge center. If you have Cl minus here and Cl minus here, in between that Na plus will be here. Na plus will be here. Next. See, ma. Na plus is here. Na plus is here. Here we have Cl minus. Next. Here Na plus, here Na plus, between that Cl minus. Like that, this side. Like that. All the sides. Okay. Faces. 6 faces we have. Next. 8 corners we have. These are all edges. Body center. Actually, by seeing like this, we cannot see the body center because this is inside. If you remove all the cubes, I think this one you know. If you remove all these things, you will have one center point. From there, it will be extended. It's totally 6. These are all fixed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These all face centers will be fixed. We can remove these cubes. They are fixed at one point, that is called body center. Okay, at the time I had no cube, that's why I could not show that one. Even next, in covalent bond also, we have some models. That models I will show with the help of balloons, and even chemistry model kit also I added. By using that chemistry model kit I will show. But that is related to hybridization concept in this chemical bond. After 2 or 3 classes I will get that one. Okay, we will get the concept there only. At that time I will be getting that kit and I will show to you. Okay, but meanwhile, this is the structure of NaCl. If you want to know where are the positions of Na plus and Cl minus ions, I have shown in this cube. I hope you understood. Coming to CSCl, all corners will be occupied by Cl minus ions. Body center inside, it will be occupied by Cs plus. Now I think you will be more clear. This is the cube we have, Rubik's cube. You might have known very well. Positions I told again. These are all corners. This position is called corner. This is called edge center. This is called face center. And middle body center is there. Okay. This is about that structure of NaCl and structure of CSCl. After that, lattice unit cell we have seen. Lattice energy. Okay. That is about completion of ionic bond. So in today's class, we will start with covalent bond. Second type of bond, that is covalent bond. Major chapter Major chemical bond and molecular structures chapter is related to covalent bond only. Okay, but definition all these things simple only. That molecular structures are there, chemical bond and molecular structure. That molecular structures to explain that so many theories we have. That is the thing we have to see, but simple only. I will show with the help of models, you will understand easily, not a problem at all. Now let us see, start with this covalent bond. Previously, we have seen ionic bond. In ionic bond formation, one atom has excess electron and another atom has deficiency of electron. Then one atom will donate the electron to another one. It will be formed as the substance, the atom which is donating the electron, it is formed as cation. The atom which is gaining the electron, it is formed as anion. Then opposite charges will be electrostatically attracted. There is a bond formed. The type of bond is called ionic bond or electrovalent bond, like that we have seen. But coming to this one, some examples I will write. See, H2, F2, Cl2, like that we have some molecules. Diatomic means two atoms. The molecule which contains two atoms is called diatomic molecule. Okay, see, H2, F2, Cl2, like this some molecules we have. Then what about these conditions? Let us see. H2 contains how many hydrogens? Two hydrogen atoms. Two hydrogen atoms I took. What is the atomic number of hydrogen? 1, 1. Electronic configuration 1s1. 1s1. Okay, then if this hydrogen loses this electron, this hydrogen will get two electrons. So it will get helium configuration. Very good. If this hydrogen loses this electron, this hydrogen will get two electrons and it will get helium configuration. But what about this hydrogen? No electron will be present. With no electron, it will not be stable at all. H plus will not be stable, Then this hydrogen doesn't want to give that electron. I have only 1 rupee. Then what is the thing? If I lose that 1 rupee also, I will lose stability. Then this hydrogen won't give. Same condition will be for this hydrogen also. This hydrogen also will not give, will not donate that electron. Then what will be happen? Now with example we will see. Okay, let us see. Two students we have. Okay, two students, they are not known to each other. That means they are strangers. They are present separately somewhere and somewhere. One student has 1 rupee only. Another student has another rupee, 1 rupee only. Both have 1 rupee each. Okay, now first person, first student, he wants to buy one chocolate. He wants to buy one chocolate. He went into shop. Okay, he went into shop and asked the shopkeeper that, please give me one chocolate. I have 1 rupee, like that he said. But shopkeeper said that chocolates which are present here will be started from 2 rupees least. At least 2 rupees chocolate is there. Less than that 1 rupee chocolate is not there, like that shopkeeper said to him. Okay, that boy disappointed because he thought to eat that chocolate, but he is unable to eat that one. Okay, with the disappointment he came out. He stepped out from the shop and he is waiting, means he was standing there only and he is thinking any possibility, other possibility, like that he is thinking. At the same time, coincidentally, this another person, another student is there now, who contains 1 rupee. He also came. Okay, he also came and stepped into that shop and he asked same. Shopkeeper repeated same thing. Then he also got disappointed and he came out. While he is coming out, the second student, he has seen the first student. Okay, he is like his face was disappointed, like that he has seen and he understood, and he went to that person and he asked what happened. So that first student told that I have 1 rupee only, but the shop contains at least chocolate which is started from 2 rupees. That's why I could not buy that one, like that he said. Even second boy also with that face he said same thing. Okay, then these two students immediately they got one idea. What is that? You might have gotten that one. Okay, what is that idea? Okay, second student he told, you have 1 rupee. I also have 1 rupee. Okay, then both of us will join that 1 rupee and 1 rupee, and at a time we will go to the shop, because no person, any one student, he is not friend to another one, correct or not? So no one will believe another one. If first student gives that 1 rupee to second person, first student loses the stability. With that 2 rupees, that second student will buy the chocolate and he will go out. That first boy, he will lose the stability, correct or not? Because he has only 1 rupee. Next, second boy. Second boy, if he gives that 1 rupee to that first boy might be jumped, gone out. Then second boy will not get stability, correct or not? So both the boys, they thought, and what did they think? Sharing is better. Here sharing is better. So no chance of donation. It is not at all possible, because no student present here has excess money. Both have 1 rupee only. Then this is the condition which is happened in between the students, and they thought one thing, that is, at a time both of us will enter into the shop and we will ask. Then both of them, they entered into the shop and they asked the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper told same thing, 2 rupees at least. So both of them, they gave the 2 rupees to the shopkeeper and they got the chocolate. Okay, with the chocolate they came out. Now what is my question? The chocolate now is belonging to any one student? No, the chocolate is belonging to both the students. At least with half of the chocolate they are stable or not? Previously with that 1 rupee they did not get any one chocolate also, but now one complete chocolate they got, both of them they got. They are stable or not now? At least somewhat they are able to eat the chocolate. They are going to fulfill their wish, correct or not? Same, huh? Like that. Same means it is not possible directly. Now both of them, they shared 1 rupee each and they got one chocolate. Now that chocolate, with that chocolate, both the boys are stable, because both wishes are fulfilled. Then what they will do? They will just equally they will just share that one. Okay, completely here the concept is sharing. As any one student is not contained by excess money, there is no chance of donation here. Then there is another chance to be stable. When there is no chance of donation of money, then there is another chance, which is by sharing they will be stable. That condition will be happened here. I hope you understood that example very well, ma. With the help of that we will see that, see, this hydrogen is not able to donate the electron. Even this hydrogen is also not able to donate the electron. Then what they will do? These two hydrogens, they will come closer and they will form the bond in a way that one electron from one hydrogen atom and this hydrogen has one electron. Both will be sharing with each other. Mutual contribution. Mutual contribution. One electron will be shared by one hydrogen. Then see, what is the shape of s orbital? S orbital shape is spherical. Spherical with one electron. Okay, same. Second hydrogen also spherical with one electron. Then what they will do? They will come approach with each other and they will form the bond. This hydrogen has one electron. This hydrogen has one electron. Then they will be shared. And see, ma, after completion of that, getting the chocolate, that chocolate is entirely belonging to both the students, na? Like that here also. These two electrons, after the completion of the bond, okay, this is belonging to first atom as well as second atom also. These two electrons are belonging to first atom as well as second atom. First atom is getting stability by helium configuration. Second atom is also getting stability by helium configuration. Did you understand? By this sharing, the new type of bond is going to be formed, that is called covalent bond. Co, contribution same, valence means outermost electrons will be contributing by the atom individually, one electron, and the bond is formed. Observe the diagram, all of you. Now, according to Lewis electron dot symbols, see, all of you, H has one outermost electron. Same, another H also has one outermost electron. These two will be involved in bond. And that bond is present between these two hydrogens, okay, which is belonging to both hydrogen atoms. With the two electrons, first hydrogen is stable as well as second hydrogen is stable. In this way, this H2 molecule is formed. Then we will show with the line. Why we are showing with line? Because this covalent bond is directional. You will understand why it is directional, everything you will understand next coming classes. Okay, previous ionic bond we did not show with line because that is not a directional bond. But covalent bond is a directional bond. How it is directional bond and everything you will understand, no problem. Okay, this is about formation of covalent bond. Now we will see the definition. Let us see the definition on board. The bond which is formed by the sharing of one or more electrons between two atoms is called covalent bond. Definition you can write neatly, all of you. The bond which is formed by the sharing of one or more electrons. Even sometimes more than one bond also will be formed. That conditions also I will explain slowly, no problem. Okay, because our remaining topic entirely is related to covalent bond only. Okay, very slowly I will teach, no problem. You have to understand this is very important concept. As it is not possible to teach directly, I am going through online. Actually, directly it will be more effective. Even I am trying to explain by using this online facility, little bit more effective only. Okay, now what is the definition, ma? The bond which is formed by the sharing of one or more electrons between two atoms is called covalent bond. Now, between hydrogen and hydrogen, the bond is formed. Okay, like that we can see one more example. Let us see that one. This is the definition of covalent bond. F2. Formation of fluorine molecule. Okay, two fluorines we have. Electronic configuration of this fluorine is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, same configuration will be for second fluorine also. 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. I am showing outermost electrons with the help of boxes now. These are outermost electrons. Because fluorine has two shells. In second shell it has 7 electrons. Okay. Which orbital has 1 electron? P orbital. Here also, which orbital has 1 electron? P orbital. Now, before going to that orbital showing, okay, that one later I will show. Now, by using Lewis dot symbols, I will show. Let us see. This fluorine, how many valence electrons are there? 7 valence electrons are there. 2, 2, 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same another fluorine also has 7 electrons. Now these two will be getting bond. These two will be getting bond. Then we will be resulted with fluorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fluorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here the bond is only one bond. That is only present in between two fluorines. Remaining, these are all on this fluorine. These are all on this fluorine only. Only these two electrons are belonging to both the fluorines. Only these two electrons are belonging to these two fluorines. Okay, now I will show in this one little bit more clarity. See all of you. Observe this diagram. The electrons which are present in the bond, the pair of electrons, pair means two. One pair contains two. Shoe pair, two shoes will be. Correct or not? Like that. This pair of electrons which are in bond, which are in covalent bond, those are called bond pair. The electron pair which is in bond, the electron pair which is in bond is called bond pair. This is only involved in bond. These two electrons are only involved in bond. Remaining electrons, they will be present on those fluorine atoms individually. Okay. Now the electron pair which is not involved in bond, the electron pair which is involved in bond is called bond pair. The electron pair which is not involved in bond is called lone pair. The electron pair which is not involved in bond is called lone pair. The electron pair which is involved in bond is called bond pair. These two are commonly called simply electron pairs. These two are commonly called electron pairs. Okay, I hope you understood, ma. Once again, what is meant by bond pair? What is meant by lone pair? The pair of electrons which are involved in bond, the pair of electrons which is involved in bond is called bond pair. The pair of electrons which are not involved in bond is called lone pair. These two are commonly called as electron pairs. These two are commonly called as electron pairs. So electron pairs are of two types, bond pairs and lone pairs. Now total fluorine molecule has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lone pairs, 1 bond pair. 6 lone pairs and 1 bond pair. F2 has 6 lone pairs and 1 bond pair. This one also note down. Next, one more example we will see, ma. Okay. Cl2, chlorine. Electronic configuration of chlorine: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Chlorine has how many outermost shells? How many shells? 3. In that, what is the outermost shell? Third shell. That's why that outermost shell alone I am showing now. Please understand carefully. The electrons which are present in outermost shell, those are called valence electrons. Those valence electrons are only involved in bond, because when two atoms are in contact with each other, first they will be contact with which electrons? Outermost electrons only, na? Inner electrons, they will not be in contact with another one. Correct or not? Outer shells are in only contact with another atom. Even another atom, outermost shell, is in contact with first atom. That's why only electrons present in outermost shell, those are called valence electrons. Those valence electrons are only involved in bond. Okay, now let us see. This is about chlorine. How many valence electrons are there? 7. So according to Lewis electron dot symbol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is one chlorine atom. Same another chlorine atom contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is belonging to this one. Now this bond pair is present in between two chlorines. Okay, if this gets 1 electron, it will be getting outermost shell 8 electrons. With that it is highly stable. Okay, but in ionic bond complete it will get electron from Na, sodium, correct or not? But here sharing will be taking place because every chlorine, no one is ready to donate the electron. That's why here covalent bond is possible. Okay, even Cl2 has 6 lone pairs, 1 bond pair. Total 7 electron pairs. After the formation of bond Cl2, it has 7 electron pairs, 6 lone pairs and 1 bond pair. 6 lone pairs, 1 bond pair, totally 7 electron pairs. Okay, this is one more example, Cl2. Now remaining examples. Before going to remaining examples, okay, we will go to the theory, that is first theory, valence bond theory. VBT. Covalent bond was explained by different theories. Those theories are valence bond theory, VSEPR theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, hybridization, molecular orbital theory. These many theories we are going to study. Valence bond theory, VSEPR, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, hybridization, MOT. So we are in first stage. Valence bond theory we have started. Okay, ma? So these many theories, 4 theories are there. Every theory takes 2 or 3 days. Every theory takes 2 or 3 days. Hybridization, little bit time it will take. Like that, theory wise we will go through and we will complete the covalent bond. After that we will go through third type of bond, that is coordinate covalent bond or dative bond. Okay, total 3 types of bonds we have. First one we have completed ionic bond. Now in covalent bonds, different theories tried to explain the covalent bond. In that first theory is valence bond theory. Okay, let us see that one. Okay. According to this valence bond theory, we have one term which is called overlap. We have one term that is called overlap. What is that overlap? Let us see example H2. Formation of H2. Okay. First hydrogen and second hydrogen I am taking. First hydrogen electronic configuration is 1s1. Second hydrogen electronic configuration of 1s1 only. Okay. First hydrogen has outermost shell. This one only outermost shell. It has only one shell. That is only called outermost shell. 1 electron. That is s orbital. S orbital means which shape? Spherical. In that 1 electron is present. Next, second hydrogen has same s orbital. S orbital shape is spherical. Okay, and it contains 1 electron. Now, what is going to be happen? If you write the box with 1 electron like this, And if you write the box here with one electron, this is very important concept, ma. Let us see, all of you. The electron with upward arrow spinning in clockwise direction. The electron in upward arrow spinning in clockwise direction. Like this it will be spinning around itself. 1 minute. Imagine this one as electron, ma. Imagine this one as electron. Okay. See, this spin is called clockwise direction spin. See, if this is the nucleus, my hand is the nucleus. By spinning like that, in clockwise direction, like this. The electron which spins in clockwise direction, it will maintain the path like this. Next, anti-clockwise. Previously I have shown like this, na? Okay, now it will be like this. This is anti-clockwise direction. So the electron which spins in anti-clockwise direction also, it will maintain the path like this. But spins are different. If you represent the electron with upward arrow, that is spinning in clockwise direction. If you represent the electron with downward arrow, that is spinning in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, what is the importance of this electron spinning in clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction? That is very important. Let us see. In physics, we have one rule that is called Ampere's right hand rule. We have one rule that is called Ampere's right hand rule, like this. Okay, now imagine I hold one wire like this now. Wire. This is wire. Okay, like this I hold. Let us see. This thumb direction is there, na? It is the direction of current. This thumb direction, it is the direction of current into the wire. In what way I wrapped the fingers, remaining fingers? The direction is magnetic field. This is the direction. Okay. Now, this one for easy understanding, ma. Actually, in our homes, we have wires which are insulated. Means upside rubber is there, rubber or plastic. Correct or not? Okay. I am not saying that to do experiment in home. If you imagine, outside we have electrical wires. Okay. That electrical wires are not insulated. Through that electricity is passing. Okay. So into that, if you think this one has electric wire, and in that electricity is flowing like that, definitely magnetic field will be developed in this direction. If magnetic field is developed in this direction, that is north pole. That is north pole. If electricity direction is reversed, magnetic field direction also will be reversed. That is south pole. Two poles will be there for magnetic field. One is north pole, another one is south pole. Okay. Now, if you bring any magnet near to this wire, it will be attracted. That magnet south pole, if you bring near to this wire, that one will be attracted, because while this electricity is flowing through the electrical wire, surrounding that magnetic field will be generated, naturally. Surrounding that naturally, magnetic field will be generated. Like that here, electron spins in clockwise direction. Electron contains charge. Correct or not? Electron contains charge. Movement of charge is called electricity. Movement of charge is called electricity. In what direction this movement of charge is happened? In clockwise direction. Because of the clockwise direction movement, some magnetic field will be generated surrounding this electron, because electron carries negative charge. If negative charge is moved, that is nothing but electricity. What is meant by electricity? Definition: rate of movement of charge, rate of flow of charge is called electricity. Okay, that is negative charge or positive charge. That is not the matter. If any charge is moved from one place to another, there electricity is flown. Here continuously that ball-like structure, electron is there, na? Spins in clockwise direction. Spins means movement. Because of that movement, definitely this electron is carried by magnetic field, surrounding that magnetic field. Okay, let us think that is North Pole. That electron is developed by North Pole. Same way, this electron, what is the magnitude of this electron? Same magnitude of this electron also, but it spins in anti-clockwise direction. Second electron spins in anti-clockwise direction. Because of that anti-clockwise direction, because of anti-clockwise direction of spin, this electron is surrounded by South Pole. This electron is surrounded by South Pole. Are you able to understand, ma? First electron spins in clockwise direction, second electron spins in anti-clockwise direction. Then first electron is developed by magnetic field North Pole, second electron is developed by magnetic field South Pole. So from where we got this magnetic field? For that only I have taken the help Ampere's right hand rule. If you take electricity to pass through the wire, surrounding that wire magnetic field will be generated. If you reverse the electricity direction, automatically magnetic field pole also will be changed. Like that here also, if the direction of electron is reversed, according to that pole also will be changed. The electron which spins in clockwise direction will be generated by North Pole. The electron which spins in anti-clockwise direction is generated by South Pole. I hope you understood, my everyone. Please, if you are very much clear about this one, now we are going to use this topic here. Okay, the electron which is present here spins in clockwise direction. Even hydrogen, this electron also spins in clockwise direction. Then both will be developed by same North Pole, North Pole. Attraction will not be there. Then bond will not be formed. Okay, but hydrogen to be stable, it should get bond. Correct or not? To get helium configuration, it should get bond. Then what they will do? For getting stability, this electron reverse the direction of spin. That means this is in anti-clockwise direction, this is in clockwise direction. While those two are coming and approaching with each other, the second hydrogen or first hydrogen, any one hydrogen, that spin previously, even though it is present in clockwise direction, now it will be reversed to reverse direction, that is anti-clockwise direction. Then one will be developed by North Pole, another one will be developed by South Pole. Because of that, even though they have same charges, because of that opposite magnetic field, these two orbitals will come and combine with each other. Resulting as bond formation. Even in bond pair also, one electron spins in clockwise direction and another electron spins in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, that combination of atomic orbitals is called overlap. Even overlap we can use in our general terms also. If I keep my arm over another one like this, that is overlapping. Okay, ma? Like this here also, two orbitals, they are coming, approaching with each other, and they are going to combine with each other. That process is called overlap. In what way they are getting overlap? I hope you are clear. Okay, once again I will explain. First, one see towards the board, all of you. Under this valence bond theorem, we have started with first side heading, that is overlap. Okay, what is that overlap? Simple only. The combination of two atomic orbitals is called overlapping. But the concept behind that, I want to explain. That is only happened here. Okay, Generally, when two orbitals are approaching with each other, in that orbitals which particles are present? Electrons. First one hydrogen has electron only, second hydrogen has also electron only. The student who thinks correctly, he or she will get a doubt that first hydrogen electron contains negative charge, second hydrogen electron also contains negative charge. Then how they will attract with each other and they will release energy. Attraction power is more, I told. Okay, what is the reason that attraction power is more? Because they have same charges. Why they have same charges? They have negative charges only. Even though they have negative charges, how they are getting attracted with each other? And they will release the energy at the time of bond formation. That one, if you get doubt, this is the explanation. That is the concept behind that one. First electron is represented by upward arrow which spins in clockwise direction. Even second one also represented by upward arrow only, it is also spinning in clockwise direction only. But at once these two hydrogen atom orbitals are approaching with each other, any one hydrogen atom electron will reverse the spin. Because to get stability. That the wish it wants to get stability is going to dominate that one. Because of that, they are going to change the spin. Because of changing in spin, what happened? The electron which spins in clockwise direction is developed by north pole. Means that is one pole developed on that one. Means magnetic field. The electron which spins in anti-clockwise direction is developed like south pole. Then both have opposite magnetic fields. When both have opposite magnetic fields, when we bring north pole and south pole, definitely they are attracted. Same here also. Even electrons have same charges. Even these two electrons have same charges. Because of that electron movement, they are developed by magnetic field. Because every electricity flow into the conductor is developed by magnetic field. Okay, when the reverse direction of electricity is happened, magnetic field direction also will be happened reversely. In that way, one is developed by north pole and another one is developed by south pole. In that way, one electron is developed by north pole and another electron is developed by south pole. In this condition, both electrons are getting paired with each other. At the time, orbitals are also overlapping with combining with each other. The process of combining of atomic orbitals is called overlap. The process of combining of atomic orbitals is called overlap. I hope you are very much clear. This is the reason why even though electrons have same charge, they are going to be involved in bonding with each other. This is the main reason. No other teachers will explain generally like this now. Okay, simply they will say that two electrons they will approach with each other and they will form the bond. But behind this, what is the main reason is, this is the concept. This electron spins in clockwise direction and this electron will reverse the spin. Because of that, these two hydrogen atoms, they are involved in bond. While they are involved in bond, combination of atomic orbitals will be happen and the process is called overlapping. Okay, which orbitals are overlapped here? S orbital of hydrogen and S orbital of hydrogen. That's why this overlapping is called SS overlapping. This overlapping is called SS overlapping. Okay, ma? This is about under the valence bond theory, first side heading overlapping. And the side heading is written as SS overlapping because S orbital of hydrogen and S orbital of hydrogen will be involved in overlapping. That's why that is called SS overlapping. This is the molecule formation which is resembled as H single bond H. We will represent the line because particularly through one direction this S orbital will come. Even second orbital S orbital also will come along X axis, Y axis or Z axis. Any one axis they will come and approach with each other. Okay, and they will be formed as bond. That's why we can say direction. That's why it is represented with line. Covalent bond is represented with line. And this overlapping is called SS. Like the two more types of overlaps are there, we will discuss in next class. Okay, but here today this term is little bit taken time because this one if you understand, next coming classes it will be more easy for you. Okay, immediately after completion of this video, students who didn't or any confusion is there, immediately if you inform, next class once again I will, even next overlappings are there. In that once again I will repeat. Otherwise little bit fastly I will go if you understood. Okay, please give that one to my WhatsApp, all of you. In last class already I asked for feedback regarding these classes, my classes only. 2 or 3 students they gave the feedback that they are understanding the concepts very well and the teaching is also effective like that. I am very happy about that. Remaining students also, if you give feedback, little bit more encouragement for me. It is like, okay. So after completion of the video, once what did you feel about the class till now, you can share with me. According to that, even not only that one, any suggestions you have, you can share with me. I will just go through all these things in a positive way only. Nothing will be happen. Okay, ma? Okay, that is about today's class. I hope you understood this class today. Even if you have little bit confusions, by next overlappings, SP and PP overlappings, you will be more clear about this one. Okay, ma? But what about the overlap definition? The process of combination of atomic orbitals is called overlapping. That is the definition of overlapping. Okay, from here the concept is little bit more interesting. It will be okay. We will see that one. Okay, thank you all.